3, 2, 1, action!
We're chasing down a Gurkha right now.
What's a Gurkha?
Gurkha is a Nepalese warrior. I mean, these guys are trained since they're 14 years old to just be the ultimate killing machine. And we see a guy that's been decapitated and look through the crowd of onlookers and see someone that kind of fits that description. And as you can see, he's pretty handy with his knife. And so Sam has his hands full, and I can't get a shot off at him. So I join in, and it takes the best of both of us to get a hold of this guy. Usually, you know, we're filming so many pages a day, we don't get a chance to, we don't have the luxury of rehearsing these things. But last week we were able to run through it with our stunt guys and the fight coordinator. And we actually, it's funny, on the new phone they've got the slow motion video. So we videotaped it when we were watching all our moves, and it looked good when we were doing it as a rehearsal. So it's funny, when you're a little kid, you run around with your buddies and you're always wrestling and fighting and doing stuff, and you don't think about it. You're 40 years old and you start wrestling around and fighting, you wake up and say, what happened to me? And you know, and this is just a pretend fight. But yeah, you can get a little banged up now and then.
The Gurkhas are like skilled knife fighters, and they've been trained to fight since they were like 10, 11, 12 years old. And they're from Nepal. And you know, basically they went into World War I, and they would have as many kills as like some of the British and American soldiers who had weapons, just because they're so skilled with these knives and so brave and so fearless. And we run into one, and then all hell breaks loose. And these are real guys, this is, you know, and so we did a lot of training and prepping just to get ready for this fight, to make it as realistic as possible and make sure that in terms of the technique, it was on point. It's a little bit more intricate, a little bit more detail-oriented, and bringing in Ernie, our guest actor, who was a martial artist, helped a lot. And plus, this is the first time that Chris and I really fought one person together the way we did. So it was like that old saying, "Teamwork makes the dream work." It really was the case in this particular instance, and it was great.
This is an incredible episode. Dave Kalstein wrote this episode, and it's a big episode for Kenzie and Deeks and their relationship, and it kind of comes to a crescendo towards the end with some really kind of pivotal moments for both of them. But there's a special warrior from Nepal called a Gurkha that's coming in and cutting people's heads off in Los Angeles, and so it's our attempt to kind of track him down. This is an amazing fight they have choreographed. Ernie Reyes is our guest star, who's done a ton of big martial arts movies. The Rundown with The Rock, like a 5-minute fight scene, and we have one choreographed with LL and Chris in an alley where he's got a knife. It's unbelievable. Probably one of the best fight scenes we've ever done. And then another couple of big scenes with him later on in a meat locker with a big shootout and more martial arts. They did a great job.
Dave Kalstein is pretty amazing, and he practices a lot of sort of knife fighting techniques himself. And it's great how he sort of incorporates what he loves and what he's been researching into a lot of the episodes that he does. And you know, he's given Kenzie kind of like the knife fighting abilities and stuff like that. But when it comes to this episode specifically, we have a Gurkha, which I learned about for the first time in this episode. And we have some pretty aggressive and incredible knife fight sequences. There's a moment where Deke says, like, why would you bring a knife to a gunfight kind of thing? And considering this guy's skill, it's like, well, no, you've got some chances even though you brought a knife to a gunfight. So it's going to be some awesome action in this episode.